Hey everybody, this is PsyonicReaver. I'm giving you a first-person VOD of myself on IC Cup. I'm at D level currently, 0-0, PsyonicReaver. That's how I am on IC Cup is my name. So this is my first game that I've played in a while. I actually, a couple weeks ago, got really fed up with StarCraft and rage uninstalled it. But after the MSL Group A performances last night, I just couldn't keep myself away just because they were such great games. I won't spoil anything. So maybe some of you are disappointed why I don't do commentaries anymore, and that's something I'm not really going to get into. I figured a couple people liked my first-person VODs, so I guess I'll give it a shot. Map is Talcross. I'm playing against someone from TeamLiquid.net. I instantly recognize his name. He's LeperKhan. And I've never played him before. I have no idea what his skill level is. I'm just going to go for a standard FE. And then we'll see where it goes from there. I'll gauge his skill a little bit better. It's been a long time since I've played on Talcross, and I can't remember exactly how to place anything. Also because it's been a couple of weeks and it's my first game of the day. I'm actually not that fast. On average, I'm about 130 APM. I'm not very fast. For PROTOSS, that's about all you really need to do okay. The faster the better, obviously, unless you just spam endlessly. But if you're thoughtful with your clicks and you know what you're doing, then 130 is good. But if you're awesome with everything, then faster is always better. So I don't know how to place my cannons. That's probably not a good spot for the first cannon. Yes, it's behind the forge, so it protects us from a surround, but it's not a very good spot. Can't cover the nexus very well. Talcross is actually kind of difficult to place cannons where you can protect the front and protect the nexus effectively. So, okay, you're going to see a huge micro mistake here. So I'm going to go ahead and place down a pylon here to try to prevent that the hatchery from going down. But then I misclicked several times here. I didn't want to cancel the pylon just yet because I wanted to have vision of the minerals so I could send a second probe down that I had hotkeyed. I like to have my scouting probe on hotkey 1 and my building probe hotkey 2. So I had my building probe. I was trying to select him to get down there and click on the minerals so he'd go down there. And then I tried to select the pylon and cancel it, but he killed it. So I instantly lost 100 minerals, and that actually puts LeperKhan a little bit ahead. Losing 100 minerals hurts a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and just do my best and continue on. I snuck a second probe out, which he didn't see. He doesn't have an overlord near my base just yet, so he doesn't know that that's sneaking to his base. Pretty much I'm just scouting to see if he's going to try to all-in me with speedlings. So that hatchery is up, but I got to get inside and see if he's building more drones or if he's building more zerglings. And he has not responded to my probe inside his base at all. So that means he's probably massing up drones. If he was massing more zerglings, he would have sent at least 1 or 2 at him. And then I probably would have prepared by putting down a third cannon, or at least blocking a little bit better with my probes. The way my gateway is right there, only single units can get through. Dragoons cannot fit through that gap. And that's nice. I didn't even see that drone sneak in there. I was a little perturbed about that. I was like, okay, well, I'll just take care of him. Anyways. So since he didn't send the Zerglings in, I figured, well, I'll just keep this probe back here, and then I'll bring him out when I need to know what the heck he's up to. Got to get my starport. I would rather use my starport, get my starport up just in case just for overlord harassment and also to provide me with a good scout. Because even though my probe could see maybe a hydrogen in the natural, he could be building a spire in the, or hydrogen in the main, he could be building a spire in the natural, and I wouldn't know. Anyways, even though my cannons are in bad positions and they can't cover the nexus, I like how I built my wall, even though it's not a very good wall, just because it allows single file at the bottom for Zerg units. The Zerglings can fit between the gateway and the forge, but there's only 2 points of entry pretty much in it. It's a lot easier for me, for my skill level, to hold. So pretty much now I'm just going to try to harass him, make him micro a little bit, maybe hopefully force him to spend more Zerglings, more minerals on Zerglings or defenses he doesn't need. Of course, one Zealot's not going to do too much, but I figure, hey, whatever I can do, and that works for me. He's going to actually let me sneak that Zealot by. So I'm going to go see if he's taking his third. If he's taking his third, he's going to be going for some sort of... either he's taking his third and he's just going to sunk up with lurkers and hydras and all that. Like, I see that on Python all the freaking time. And Medusa against ZERG as a PROTOSS players. They just go for that, like, mass sunken with evolution chambers in front with spore colonies and lurkers. And it's just, it's so impossible to break. Because, obviously, because of the way a PROTOSS player, it takes a while for you to build up. So ZERG can easily fortify his position before you can really move out. With too many zealots to harass and whatnot. And you can see that this one zealot trying to get that drone, not going to happen. My micro fails. I should have just killed the Zergling and then went after the drone, but whatever. So I got my Corsair going, got my leg speed. I should be putting down, and I totally forgot +1 weapon upgrade, so that's going to finish way after my my speed leg is done. And I actually should be putting down more gateways, and I'm actually going to be a little cheesy here and put my gateways in the back of his base. I figured, well, you know, I have the Corsair coming soon, and I'm pretty much already know what he's doing. He's either going to go 3-hatch Hydra or 3-hatch Muta. If it's Muta, I'm pretty much screwed just because my initial cannons can't cover my natural Nexus, and he'll be able to just get around. He'll kill me easy. If it's Hydras, then the gateways in the back will do a good job in punishing him, because all I have to do is just pretty much... Usually, mediocre players usually keep just one Overlord in their main base. I'll just snipe that off, and then my DT will have a greater chance of success. I'm also going to expand. See, I should be putting down more gateways. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm being super greedy myself, trying to play catch-up to a greedy Zerg, and if a better Zerg player will punish you hardcore for that. If he had decided to go for a mass Hydra break, I would be in a ton of trouble right now, because I have no units, I have no cannons, I have nothing. But due to the non-aggressive style of LeperKhan at the moment, I figured, well, I'll be a little bit risky and see if this works. I haven't put this disclaimer, but I am a very bad StarCraft player. The best I can do is D+. I'm just putting this out there for maybe people who are better than me. If they want to give comments, I'm totally up for that. People who want to help me improve my build order, I'm up for that. I'm doing this mostly for a learning experience for myself to try to get better at PROTOSS. And if people want to share anything, I'm totally more than willing to accept that. See, I should have had a DT out already, hitting his third base. Oh well. Now this is funny. Watch this. My DT gets stuck. I'm like, oh, I'll just move the probe. They'll get the... Ah, dang it. So I gotta kill my gateway. See, I should have had a third DT at the third base already, harassing that, and sniping probes there due to lack of overload protection. But right now, I'm just kind of all over the place. I'm not really focused on anything right now. I figure, well, I'm being really passive. Like I said, a better Zerg player would have run me over by now. He just would have masked up and just kicked my teeth in. But LeperKhan is playing pretty passive, so I'm taking advantage of that by being passive aggressive. I'm not engaging him anywhere, but I am just trying to distract him so I can get my macro going and warm my hands up and get my game sense going. Like I said, this is my first game in a couple weeks, and I'm playing very poorly here. But anyways, I figure, well, I'll just try to keep... He hasn't gotten speed overlords yet, so I'll just keep him out of this area as long as I can and just try to snipe his main base and just prepare for a counterattack, because there's a possibility he could counter. Gotta keep those Corsairs alive. I figured there's gonna be overlords popping out of those eggs. And then, of course, gotta snipe the evolution chambers. Don't want him to get those upgrades. They're probably almost finished. Here come those Hydralisks, so now it's time to fight with the DT. Snipe those Hydras. And another base going up there. I don't know why I built that pylon over there. And now I have a ton of minerals. I'm just like, oh yeah, I should probably start building more gateways. I'm just all over the place. I'm just like, oh, more cannons. Yeah, that's cool. I'm a PROTOSS. I just put cannons because that's all I can do. And LeperKhan really, his playstyle just way too passive. He needs to be a lot more aggressive. against a PROTOSS player. Like he should have overlords outside my base, knowing when I'm moving out, or zerglings or something, just keeping tabs on me, just know what I'm doing. Because if I just think he just doesn't have very good macro or something. I don't know, because he hasn't tried to come after me at all, really. Excuse me, sorry about that. I hiccup burped. So now I'm like, well, this game's pretty much over. I sniped his main base. I killed everything there. All I gotta do now is just prevent him from taking other expansions and just mass expand myself. So I was just gonna take top right, and then in a pretty bad manner move, well, you'll see in a sec here, I start expanding in the ZERG main base. I kind of feared lurkers a little bit, so I did put up that one cannon so I get a robo bay going, but then because I wasn't sure what he's researched out that hydrogen already, but I'm like, well, I'll just macro up a little bit here, but you're going to see me expanding in the ZERG main base, and that's kind of a slap to the face for LeperKhan. I'm sure he probably wasn't happy about that. I know I wouldn't be if a ZERG just started expanding in my main base after decimating it, but what can I say? I'm actually a really bad manner player. I mean, if the whole I raged quit, uninstalled StarCraft because I lost an IC Cup gives you any indication, there you go. So now I'm expanding in his base. Well, yeah, because I'm just that bad mannered. So I've checked all the locations, and he's not expanded anywhere else. He's gonna try to break my my cannons there. Pretty much all I gotta do is, he's not controlling his overlords very well, so I just figured, well, I'll just try to chase off the overlords as best I can. That'll leave the DTs to help mop up a little better. One DT survives, and the cannons finish on time. So now that he's down to pretty much 2 gas, no army, not too much he can do. All I gotta do is, I really should be macroing better. I'm just way too nonchalant about this. I'm just like dum-de-dum. Now here comes LeperKhan coming up. It looks like to be his last ditch effort. And of course, all I've been making is High Templar. All I got are, oh man, I'm so bad at this game. I'm like, oh, I'm not macroing anywhere. I got 4 Zealots and 8 High Templar, and a Dark Templar are sniping the Zerglings. Lucky for me, he didn't bring up any of his overlords, but I'm just like, oh man, I'm so bad. Now all I gotta do is just cast a couple storms, and I pretty much win the game. This is pretty much his last effort, because now I'm kind of getting in the mood of macroing up a little bit, and I'll just slowly take him out, and he GG's. And that, my friends, is how to be really gay as PROTOSS on Telcross. If you have any questions, I'll gladly answer them. I didn't really do anything too extreme or crazy. I just actually played very poorly as the LeperKhan, and that's D level for you. So no offense, LeperKhan, if you see this, and I love you. You make good posts on TeamLiquid.net, but I don't mean to be bad mannered when I play people in StarCraft. It just kind of happens. Anyways, this is PsyonicReaver out.